Hey, welcome everybody to this live stream. I'm going to talk a little bit about the new Amazon Fire TV Cube that's out on the market. Hopefully, I'm coming in clear and everything looks good. I've been screwing around with new stuff for my studio here, new computer, new setup, a lot of new stuff. Hey, welcome
Hang on,
everybody
demand.
to this live
It
stream.
says
I'm going
waiting to
to
be
talk a
live.
little bit about the new Amazon Fire TV Cube
I kid
that's out
you
on the
not.
market. Hopefully, I'm coming in clear and everything looks good. Um, I've been
Look,
screwing around with new
hold on
stuff for
real
my
quick. Check
studio
this
here.
out.
Oh,
Waiting
for
to.
new setup, new. Oh, we should be live right now. Let me see.
Hang on, demand.
Yeah,
It
no,
says
we're
waiting.
live. We're live. We're live, Gary.
I kid you not.
Dismiss. Let's see. Yep.
Look, weird that it's saying wait. Check this out.
Oh,
Waiting to.
oh, we should be live right now. Let me see.
Hang on, demand.
Yeah, no, we're live. Let's see. So we are live. We are live. Let's see what's going on here. We're watching 69 seconds ago. Okay. Checking to make sure it looks like things are running good. Using some new software, using some new stuff here. Trying some new things out for the heck of it. Oh yeah. Miss the Cody days. The Cody days. Definitely. Well, they're not over. They're just, you not really on YouTube anymore. Um so, you're not going to see a lot of you're not going to see a lot of that on YouTube anymore. Obviously. They don't want any of that stuff out there. Yeah, I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to go in detail about some of the information about this Fire TV Cube, and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to let you guys, if anybody wants to come in and actually talk about it on the show too, you can. I'm going to open up a link to a meets for us to chop it up, so to speak. If some of you want to talk about it or ask me some questions about certain things live on the show, that's cool too. Just a kickback night right now. We're just kicking back and just going to talk about some of this stuff. I hope you guys are all doing great. I haven't been on a lot lately. I've been busy with a lot of other things, and hopefully, maybe I can do a little bit more now that I've worked on getting some new computers together. You know, had some deaths in my family that, my best friend, that lived here in my house passed away. My grandma just passed away. I'm dealing with taking care of a lot of stuff with that. So we got a lot of things going on in my life that have to be taken care of, including being a caregiver and all kinds of other stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm still a full-time techie. Love my tech stuff, and I really want to just be able to talk about all the tech stuff, the computer stuff, as well as the new Fire TV Cube. I noticed some stuff about the new Fire TV Cube that's good, some stuff that's bad. Just wanted to do some of the pros and cons on it, what the way I feel about it, and I know the way some others feel about it, and it's kind of love hate, right? You want it, you want more in it, but then again, it is still one of the better devices out there. Um, when you look at the grand scheme of devices, nobody's really put out the device that I want. I mean, like seriously, that I want big time. At some point in time, maybe somebody will put that device out on the market. But you know, we will see. So, so let's see. So what we're talking about today is this right here, right? The Fire TV Cube. This is what we're talking about. Oh yeah. Yep. 619. I hear you. Yeah, for me, it's my wife and my mom both. My mom's blind, and my wife she can't hardly get around. She's got multiple sclerosis, so a lot I'm dealing with on my plate. But hey, what we got here is we got the Fire TV Cube, and we want to talk about this device. So looking at it right from the beginning, you're going to look at this device, and it's pretty nice looking. Uh, but the fabric, I mean, who likes that fabric, right? Who wants a device with fabric like that? I think they did that because they put a better updated speaker in it for some better audio. This is just starting. We're going to go over a lot of stuff about this cube, but that seems to be probably one of the main things they did. They put in some fabric for the cube there for some better audio. What do you guys think about the fabric on there? I'm just giving you guys a minute to ponder that, just to think about it. I was under the impression like, well, maybe it's going to give more insulation, cause it to run a little hotter. But then I thought about it and I'm like, the fabric gets snagged and torn and gets dirty easier too. So it's going to be harder to keep clean. There's a few caveats I see to that personally. Somebody may really like it. It may match their speakers or their whatever setup they've got. It may match it really, really well. If that's the case, that's cool. It really kind of depends on you, your personal, I guess, your personal feelings on that. Um, you know, it is a different look. Like you said, looks unique. I think they needed to change up the look because the first and second gen looked the same. They didn't really change the look. If they would have kept it the same look, I think a lot of people would have been not really real happy, right? With it coming out and changing the look. But the change from first gen Fire TV Cube to the second gen Fire TV Cube was a huge, huge leap in performance and how well the unit ran. This particular unit is not as much of a leap in how fast it is uh, compared to the Fire TV second gen. So that's one observation I can see. According to Amazon's own words, they're not even comparing it on this site to the second gen cube. If you see what they compare it to when you scroll down, they're comparing it to the Fire Sticks. There's a reason for that. Right here, you can see that they're only comparing it to the Fire Sticks. They don't want you to compare it to the second gen cube because there's not much of a difference. In reality, the main difference between the second gen cube and the third gen cube in reality is Wi-Fi 6. Now, if you don't have a Wi-Fi 6 router supporting Wi-Fi 6 technology, then that is not a huge issue. And with regular 5G, you can get some pretty good speeds on the Wi-Fi. Um, the original cube came with an adapter for Ethernet. The Ethernet wasn't built in on the back, so you had to use an adapter for that if you wanted to use Ethernet. But the Ethernet was only 10100. So in this new third gen cube, also it is only 10100, as far as I've been able to confirm from a lot of places online. Um, so that's another downside. 10100 Ethernet, they came out with gigabit like over 20 years ago. Over 10 years now, gigabit's kind of been mainstream for around a decade. Why would they use, I mean, if you're going to buy something that's supposed to be this awesome streaming device, going to give you as much speed as possible off your internet, everybody's running 2, 3, 400 internet up to a gig internet these days. Why would you settle for a 10100 Ethernet connection on a device? So many other streaming devices out there, streaming boxes, have gigabit on them. I just don't understand why Amazon continues to think that this is okay. I think they think most people aren't even going to understand or know that they're getting gypped on the performance when it comes to the Ethernet port. If you're planning on plugging the device in hardwired, in a lot of cases, you're going to be better off running it Wi-Fi. And if you have a gig internet, you're not going to even be able to take advantage of your full gig internet connection coming into the device. Now, I am no Fire TV Cube hater. I have two second gen Fire TV Cubes we use all the time in the house. The Fire TV Cube is a terrific device. 619, that is total BS. 40 meg for 4K. I'm sorry, but I do this all the time, every single day. And let me tell you right now, if I've got 400 meg of internet coming into my house, the more speed you have going into the device makes everything else so much faster on the internet. Whether it's scanning for your shows with a scraper, whether it is just bringing up a trailer, or whether it's just bringing up news information on the device, or whatever you're trying to bring up a website, everything's going to be faster. You want as much speed as you can get to that device. There's no reason to handicap it and cut off the speed. So this is this is a big issue, in my opinion, and it's not just me. There's a lot of other people that feel the same way about the Ethernet port and about the speed. If you go down to the comments below on Amazon's page here, you're going to find that it's not, and I didn't write this. Let's see if we can find the comments right here. Questions. Does the Ethernet port speed support gigabit? And because streaming 4K uses only 1/5 of 100 meg, I keep hearing this. This is not true, guys. When you're streaming, this just doesn't hold water. When you're streaming real 4K content from a lot of places, you can use a lot more than 100 meg. Believe me, especially when you're streaming really high quality IPTV, or you're streaming a lot of other services out there, depending on where the service is coming from. What you don't understand is that the services are generally going to slow they're going to lower the quality of the stream, so it's still going to play okay for you, especially from the legitimate sources out there. But you're not going to understand that you're really not getting the quality that you're paying for when you're getting this 4K device. So you really need to use, if you're going to use the Cube, you definitely want to use it on Wi-Fi and not on the Ethernet. You're going to get a lot more performance out of it. Skull says Chinese boxes have better specs. They do on paper. In reality, there's a lot of different things that you got to look at when you're looking at a TV box, as far as what are you going to run on it. So for every person, it's a little different. We all like different shows. We all like to watch different things, and we all got to understand what apps are we going to use on our particular box, and that needs to kind of play into maybe what device we end up purchasing for ourselves. I will say the performance is very nice. The speed of the unit itself is very nice on this Cube. The second gen Cube is also very fast with a 922 processor, and the slightly upgraded processor that this particular unit is coming with has a little bit more megahertz speed, so you're getting a little bit more speed. Let's go down the list. They asking about HD home run, if that's an deal for you. A lot of that has to do. This person was talking about the Fire TV recast. If memory serves me correctly, I think Amazon stopped production of that. I don't think they're making any more of those. Maybe they're going to come out with a new one. I'm not sure. Will it support a Plex server? That's a whole nother aspect. So why would you want a server running on a 10100 Ethernet connection, and you really don't want a server to be running on Wi-Fi? So why would you run a Plex server on a unit that can't even hook to your internet at full speed? So if you have friends or family that are going to try to be connecting into your Plex server and watching programs off of it, that particular unit is not going to be able to push out the full performance that you would want when it comes to the Ethernet port on it. So it's not a good unit to be a Plex server at all. I doubt it will run Plex server. The other aspect of it is, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the USB port. Off the back here, this is a nice picture of the back. You got the USB port. And this is something we've all wanted forever. We want a standard USB port coming right off the back. but it's really no better than the micro USB that came on the second gen cube. Same speed, same performance. You could take that micro USB and plug it in. You can plug it into your USB hub and have a whole bunch of USB ports on it, a micro card, an Ethernet port. You can actually upgrade and add a gigabit Ethernet port um, off of it, going that route. I've been told. I haven't done it myself, but I have had some people that have done that. So that is an option. But if you have the Ethernet port built into the box, what kind of conflicts is that going to cause you if you try to hook up a gigabit Ethernet port through the USB port on this new second gen cube? That's an important question to wonder. In some ways, the second gen cube might be a better unit plugged into the plugged in with a USB hub with a gigabit Ethernet, etc., giving you a lot of USB ports and a micro card on it for upgradability. So this USB port, that's for show in my opinion, because you really got that with the second gen cube already, because the micro port was not used for anything other than expansion because it had its own power. So you already had a USB on the second gen cube. You already had Ethernet on the second gen cube, even though it plugged into the micro USB. But because the Ethernet port is built in, is it going to conflict if you try to hook up a gigabit Ethernet on the third gen cube? These are all very valid questions. And the USB speeds is a 2.0 speed as far as I know. Everything I've been able to research says that this is only a standard 2.0 USB. It's not, and that's one of the reasons why they didn't go with a USB-C port. On the next cube that comes out in a year, 2 years, or 3 years down the road, you probably will see a USB-C port and USB 3.0. Because a lot of people like me are going to shed the light on why this and ask, why is this happening? I mean, USB 2.0 has been out forever. There's absolutely no reason for it to only be USB 2.0. This brings me to another answer to questions. Do you want this to be, can this be a Plex server? In my opinion, if you're plugging in high-speed USB 3.0 hard drives to this, to the USB 2.0 port, you're going to inherently handicap your speed of the drives, which is going to make your server run slow. It's not going to run very well because the port is slower transferring the data, the video files. So these are all things to understand. The USB and the Ethernet basically put a X on basically making this thing a Plex server. In my mind, I would never even try, because it just doesn't hold water as far as the specs. But if you're buying it to be your streaming device at home, it is kind of nice. They did add the HDMI input and output, which means that you're going to be able to control your cable box or maybe control another type of device with the cube. More integrated Alexa capabilities. So there are a lot of things that are going to be integrated in the future as well for that. I just don't think the memory didn't get upgraded at all. It's still 2 gig 16. I think it's high past time we started upgrading the memory on these devices. There hasn't been a memory upgrade since the very beginning of the Amazon Fire TV box and the cube. I mean, not the cube, the first cube, the first Android TV Fire TV box, and the first Fire Stick have, most of them are just basically the same amount of storage. They've changed the video memory a little bit to accommodate going to higher resolutions, but they haven't increased your storage for you to be able to install more apps, more APKs, and so on. So these are things to take into account. This is my first take on this box. I wanted to go over these things, and I wanted to, ask all of you what your thoughts were on it. After this, if you watch this video after it's aired, go ahead and put a comment down below what you think about this box and whether or not you might buy it. At the end of the day, if you're running a second gen cube, I would say you don't need to buy this. This is not a needed device for you. If you're running a Fire Stick, go for it if you're going to get it on sale. If the second gen cubes, though, if they're blowing them out and getting rid of second gen cubes over the holidays for $50-$60, like I think they might, then because they were down as low as $59 not that long ago, $69 um, for refurbished and new ones. So they'll go down again. This cube might drop in price to well under $100. I fully believe there'll be some Black Friday deals that'll be around a $99 area or maybe 89. And I think that what you want to do is you want to stick with your second gen cube if you have one already, because it's got all the capabilities you're going to want for quite a while. And don't try to just jump onto the newest thing. It's not worth spending $140 at this point. If you don't have something though, and if this goes on sale, go ahead at the sale price, not at $140. $140, I think, is a little too high for this particular device, and that's my personal thinking on it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to get a meets link. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Copy that and put this in. And we're going to. I know that Skull's playlist wants to say a few words about this. I'm going to open it up for him to talk right now, and then open it up for anybody else who wants to come into the meets. And see. Copy that and put this.
Yeah.
All right, they're going to. I know that Skull's playlist
Am I
wants
on?
to say a few words about this. Yeah, I've got to. Hold on, I've got to. And then open it up for anybody.
I asked Jay if you wanted to also
Let me
on
turn
there.
off my YouTube I've got on here.
Okay, it's like this.
There we go.
I've been looking at the box too as well from when it came out. I knew it wasn't really worth talking about. I mean, yeah, the Wi-Fi 6 is a good thing, but everybody and their brother is not gonna have. Um, Everyone's gonna have a really good high internet, but not a lot of people are gonna feel like paying for a router. You're gonna have to have a router. And the cloth design, like on demand me we're talking about, it's gonna probably end up to somewhat of an issue. Maybe you having some of your chipsets burn out, like maybe your Wi-Fi 6, if you think about it, right? On demand, probably.
Who knows? Who knows? It's a new device, so you just don't know. You just don't know the answers to those questions. But they're valid. They're valid questions to have. Once some testing gets going, I think
Some of your
we'll.
chipsets burn out, like maybe.
Yeah, we'll. Once some testing gets going, we'll find out some more information.
I think you're almost better off spending a couple more bucks and just get a GT King Pro, 8 gigs, 128 or 64, or a few more bucks, and you probably get a Formula Z or some other ones.
Yeah.
In my opinion, are better boxes.
I had a lot of people asking me my thoughts on this device, and I just wanted to put my first thoughts out there. I mean, none of us obviously have really seen the device yet. We haven't done much of anything with it because it's just for pre-order, just barely hitting, and some of us will be getting some of these cubes very soon. I assume too. So you will start seeing some actual, actual real reviews of it. So this is just a first thoughts.
But you know well as I know is people are going to build it up to something that, from what we're looking at, and we don't just nitpick. We like all boxes. We don't just nitpick on what stuff it is. But at this point, when the technology, what, like 20 years old for a gig?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just old tech. I mean, they're just putting. Why are they going to give us a new product with stuff that's super old? I mean, technology that's super old. It doesn't make sense to me.
And the USB.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I've got an old Windows XP machine that's running a gigabit Ethernet on it. I mean, for God's sake. I mean, 10100 is totally obsolete. Nobody should be running 10100 Ethernet anymore. Let's see if they hide any more menus in the new one. Maybe some more OS updates. They're always going to be doing funny stuff with the OS. That's the way Amazon is. I still like I still like their OS. I like the integration of the TV guide that integrates all of those legitimate apps in there in one place with a nice with a whole bunch of channels. I like I like a lot of the stuff. At the end of the day, though, the front end is just something where you're clicking want to get into an app. And I think people make too big of a deal about the front end personally, because most of the time I'm not on the front end of the device. Most of the time I'm in an app, um, watching either my Plex or watching Pluto or watching Tubi or watching any one of a number of other apps that we can't speak about on here. Um, so those are things that I think people make too big of a deal about. There are things to make a big deal about. I think a lot of the changes in the operating system, not all, but a lot of them have been due to security things that they've been adding to help with security more than trying to block people from doing certain things. Really, when you get it, I mean, if you have things set up right, all you got to do is set up your legitimate Amazon account and load one app, and you can then install anything you want from a USB drive with, as long as you've got an OTG cable. Or you can install one app and load anything you want from a variety of places online. Um, there, when it comes to the Fire TV, and I'm not talking about Downloader either. I don't use Downloader, um, but there's there's Explore, and there's a variety of other apps, and
See how he's saying how one person's at least talking like how I'm talking about.
uh, add a built-in task killer. That would be nice. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the second gen cube, I mean, it runs so freaking fast. I don't have any problems with how quick things open or how quick anything runs in place. Um, the unit is definitely a very solid unit. No problems at all. Would I compare it to my PC? No, it's not on that level performance wise, but you know, those things are different, very different types of devices. So one click kill all. Yeah, I mean
That's a good app.
you can add you can add that stuff to it. I mean, so once you get it, that's a matter of your programming preferences, what you want to add to the device. Um, there's a lot that I think is overkill that people do that's just not necessary. Uh, you know, uh, when it comes down to it, but the you get the thing, you load your basic apps that you want to use and run them, and you're good. The unit will continue to run and run and run. I programmed mine over a year ago. I haven't had to reprogram it. A couple little updating of a few apps, but nothing major. Um, I mean, you know,
Yeah, when you're talking about stuff, what you talk about future. Look who's Josh.
Hey, I got a question.
yeah. What's up, Josh?
When I comment on the chat, my comment's disappearing for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
I will take a look at that.
I know I didn't get banned or anything. I didn't do anything.
No, you're not banned. You shouldn't be.
Hey, Josh.
You're an admin.
Yeah.
You're an admin in my Telegram.
Yeah, it's not Telegram, it's on YouTube.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm just saying I wouldn't have banned you, so I'll double check and see.
I know
what.
that, but
Well, I
maybe
mean,
my
I
phone's
do.
acting up or something.
Well, I do have it. I do have it set to not allow comments that have certain words automatically. I have a huge list of words that are blocked.
Oh, I
So
didn't say anything bad.
yeah, I don't. I'm just saying maybe it has to do with that. Maybe there's something in there that's thinking you're
I
saying
said
something.
hi earlier and it didn't even accept it.
Really?
Yeah, I said hi and I backed out and came back in and disappeared.
Well, I will after we're off. I'll double check my YouTube account and I'll make sure that you aren't blocked in any way.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say I like the fire cube, but the price. Time you get the taxes and all that, it's $149.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It's a little bit expensive. That's what I said.
What they
It
should do is bump down the file cube to the lowest price and then bump that new cube down. I might think about getting it because that'll be a good price if it were going sale really good.
Mm,
yeah. Definitely when it goes on sale, I think that'll be the time to purchase it.
I think it might be better than the Nvidia Shield. It might be. It might beat it out.
I don't know. I'm not going to try to compare it to the Nvidia Shield. Everybody, there's too many Nvidia Shield fanboys
There's
out
one guy-
there.
one guy already tried to do something like that. As so, if it has that certain chip of a certain box that I'm looking at, I will I will grant it that it could, but like the specs, man, the specs for the shields got it. They got a gig in it. They just need only thing that they probably would like to be would be a Wi-Fi 6, but realistically, a Snapdragon hands down could overthrow. If someone made a Snapdragon box, which I've seen something in the marketplace about that, I kind of think it could overthrow a shield. And that's just me, but there's like two boxes or three boxes that me and
those are those are expensive. Those are expensive processors, and the problem is licensing. This is why we're seeing. I didn't talk about it, but this is why we're seeing that we're only getting USB 2 and 10100 Ethernet. Is they dumbed down certain parts of the Fire TV Cube because of licensing to get Dolby in there, and what by doing that, they they're handicapping a couple of major areas that they gave us that we wanted, but we didn't want the old versions of them. We wanted at least updated. We wanted updated Ethernet and updated USB 3. We didn't want, and I'm not even talking, it didn't have to be USB, the newest 3.2 or whatever the newest one is. It didn't, and also they got 10 gig Ethernet out there. We're not asking for that. Just give us a gig at least. Most of our routers now a lot of our computers, our new motherboards are coming with two gig.
Yeah.
So why are they giving us a 10100? That's so slow. There is absolutely no reason to handicap the unit like that. Not when they're upgrading the Wi-Fi to the best newest Wi-Fi. They say they're upgrading the network on it. Was the big deal, the big announcement about it. But yet the Ethernet is still the oldest, slowest Ethernet you could pretty much get. So it's just not that is not good. Although, like I said, I have 2 2nd-gen cubes. I like the product.
Yeah, me too.
And I seriously, when they're on sale, I recommend people get one, but I don't recommend it at 140. So let's see, dismiss. Yeah, Dre. Hey, how's it going? What's up? I see. Let's see. I feel like they should have went big or nothing at all for the device. Maybe wait another year and do it with the better specs. Yeah, what they are doing is they just want something new out for people to buy, and they're giving you something new that is an upgrade. Let's make no mistake, it is an upgrade over the 2nd-gen cube. It's faster. And there's features like the HDMI in, and there's features like the fact it's got the regular USB port isn't really much of an upgrade in my opinion, because the micro USB port is the same difference. I don't see that as anything. And having the onboard Ethernet, I mean, it makes it look like it's a lot more, that they added a lot more than they did. They really didn't. in the grand scheme of things. But at the end of the day, uh, Amazon just needs new products to sell to people because they're trying to make money. I mean, that's what it boils down to. The They're trying to tout it as being 2 times faster than the 4K Max. The 4K Max wasn't much of a device anyway. So
I agree with you. It
uh,
wasn't.
yeah, the 4K was a nice. I mean, they went from the first gen Fire Stick, and then they had the Fire TV box. Then they downgraded you from the Fire TV box, and they gave us the little dongle box, which was basically a bigger stick, which didn't have any upgradability. You know, when they came out with the Cube, that was kind of a nice thing. The first Cube was okay, wasn't as fast as I wanted because it was a 905 regular 905 processor. Then that second gen Cube with the 922, it hit on all cylinders at the time for what I was looking for the price. Getting it on a sale for the $70 area, whatever I got it for on sale, and it was the perfect deal because you couldn't get, and you still can't get, a 922 chip box with that performance for any cheaper. So there's still pluses. Um, how much more performance? The Amazon says 20% is all you're getting more performance out of the new
Oh,
Cube.
wow.
That's not even close to the increased performance you got from going from the 905 Cube to the 922. I don't remember what the difference was, but it was a lot bigger because I remember getting the new second gen Cube and was like blown away how much faster it was.
They did give you an Ethernet port. That's one thing they did do.
Yeah, and we talked about that. But it's only a slow 10100 port. So,
Oh, well, that's not good.
and I'm not really a fan of them adding it. If they were going to add a port, it needed to be at least a gigabit. Like I said, if you're going to add an Ethernet port, how is that going to cause a conflict if I want to try to add a gigabit Ethernet through the USB? And these are questions I have in my mind. I'm like, well, I should just stick with my second gen Cube with the USB hub and gigabit Ethernet and not even worry about this because at the end of the day, I'm not getting anything extra,
You're right.
out of it except for 20% in performance, which 20% in performance doesn't warrant spending a bunch of money on a new box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might not even be worth getting it. Don't know yet.
I actually thought you got a Formula Z, Josh, or when we were
I
talking.
got a formula. It's all right.
And I thought you also looked for that buzz stick. You also got that buzz stick.
I don't like the buzz stick. I don't like the buzz stick.
I do. That's because I don't use the legitimate apps. That's the reason why I could do about anything.
It freezes up too much. Too much freezing up.
You got the lower end one.
Yeah.
I got the 4 gig 128 with a micro card in it and a USB slot at the side, and it handles pretty good. Like the internet, I could say the internet. Like I looked on, I was doing a speed test. I was rocking around 200 with that stick.
So what I mean, we got two sides of the issue, right? We got like Android TV OS, and we've got the regular Android OS on the on boxes out there, and you get a lot more for your money spec wise on the regular Android OS compared to Android TV OS. Part of the reason is because of licensing, and so you get compatibility wise with apps that are made to run on your TV. You're having to run the mobile versions of the apps. So the mobile versions of the apps don't necessarily have all the licensing for the higher end audio, higher end certain resolutions for things, etc., etc. So and then it's not as user friendly for your controller. So it's like, well, you're going to get all the content, but it's not going to get, you're not going to get it the same or as easily as you're going to get it. But then again, you get the full Play Store with standard Android. Um, compared to Android TV OS, which only has what comes in its Play Store, or if you're on an Amazon device, the Amazon Play Store, and then you can get you can sideload anything you want pretty much on an Amazon device and run it. Um, so yeah, I mean, for us to get our perfect box that clicks off, that check marks off all the boxes, I haven't found that particular device yet. That check marks off all the boxes, that gives me everything I want, except for spending a lot of money on a really nice home theater PC. That's it. Other than that, there's nothing that clicks all those
But
boxes.
like the one thing I told you about that one device, the one of the box that I got, yeah, that one's got tvOS too.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Well,
what I'm talking about? Yeah.
yeah. There's a
I'll
lot
show
of.
that in the near future when I get a capture card. In my opinion, it's gonna be the future OS. I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff that's coming down the pipeline
Mm-hmm.
about when we were talking about going out. What we're talking about is OSs, right? Well, Fuchsia's coming down the pipeline. So,
Yep.
do you think
Android's
that?
on it. Android is on its way out, according to Google, that makes Android.
What?
Android is
That's
on.
not good.
Android is on it. Samsung's already working on its new flagship phone that's not going to run Android. It's going to run the new OS. So within a couple of years, you're going to start seeing devices come out with the new Fuchsia OS, and it's not running on the Linux base or anything.
But
Completely different, and it's
but
not.
Josh,
So
the box that I got two of them kind of parallel to each other. Um, I don't have to worry about if Fuchsia comes out, knocks everything out of play. The boxes, see, the reason why I'm talking about why I'm down on boxes as much as it is, I don't want to buy a box that I'm going to tend to continuously pay $50 here, $50 here for one set operating system. But the box I got out there, it's going to work for future uses, and it's more bang for your buck for the price. And that's what I promote on my channel. I will not promote anything that I don't use on a daily basis. And me and On Man, we sit there and talk about that. There's a bunch of people out there. It's their channel, but they could promote whatever they want to promote, but they don't really use that on a daily. They use a specific whatever, and it's like, well, every time you turn around, people don't have enough money to keep paying for boxes. That's what I don't promote that. Period. Over time, stuff slows down. It just is what it is. What do
yeah,
you think on that, Josh and Mr. PC Works?
yep. I think there's only one thing we know for sure. They're going to continue coming out with new stuff because they got to continue to keep selling us something. So they're always going to keep us wanting, and
More.
they're never going to give us all the everything we want in a device. Unfortunately, it's just we're just going to have to sit back and wait. We want more storage, and we want faster USB and faster Ethernet, and by the time we get those things, there's going to be newer, more up to date technologies, and we're going to be like,
True.
why didn't they give us the new stuff? Because
Why didn't they?
they're always going to keep us hooked. The tech industry is going to continue coming out with new processors, new boxes, new computers, new this, new that. Whether it's memory or hard drives or whatever it might be, there's always going to be something new, and we're always going to be trying to catch up. Never going to be caught up. But that's the way the tech industry is. That's the way it. You have to live with that. You know, understand you get what you can get, and you're gonna get a little bit better on the next one, and a little bit better on the next one, and you just got to decide for yourself. Is the cost of this worth the little bit better I'm getting right now, or should I wait for a lot better later? um, it's just that's just the way it goes.
We all have that same question. Is it worth getting it or not?
Prime keeps going up every year, and they can use the money for
Mhm.
the Fire device.
They got
uh,
the money.
Prime is
Look
worth
at the
it in my
Amazon football.
yeah.
It's on Prime every Thursday.
Yep, it sure is. Prime is worth every penny in my opinion, though. Um, but you know if you've got somebody that's disabled on Social Security or a senior, you can get it for half price. So that's what I do is I'm getting it for half price. So I'm paying half of what the normal price is, which makes it very worthwhile. So I that is one of the services I do pay for, is Prime. And I think they got a lot of good programming on there. Plus, with integrated with my Fire TV cubes, it we can always find something to watch between Prime and all the other apps. Uh, no matter what happens with any of the other underground stuff, there's plenty of legal apps with plenty of content to
Is
watch.
that for 1 year you pay for?
For 1 year, no, I pay monthly.
Oh, monthly. Yeah, I seen the discounts on there. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, you all you got to do is you just go and apply to get the discount.
Yeah, I
It's half
seen
price.
that.
You send them a picture of your uh, of your card, and you're instantly approved for
I didn't want to do that.
it's
I don't need it.
it's cheap. It's really nice. Yeah, shipping speeds are nice, but their shipping speeds are not what they used to be ever since COVID happened and with all of the supply chain issues. Amazon is not what it used to be. A few years ago they were so good. We could get stuff so quick in 2 days. Within a day a lot of times I had stuff
I
and
know.
that's just not the case now. Stuff just doesn't get to you as quick as it used to. Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna close the show out. I want to put my I just want to say my heart goes out to everybody dealing with the hurricane going on in Florida, South Carolina, throughout there. I really want to say I hope that they um, get things back to normal as much as possible, as soon as possible. That is just so terrible over there, what's going on. And also, you know uh, let's just keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Hey, Terry. Yeah. Well, we talked a lot about the Fire TV Cube. People can get my thoughts at the beginning of this video. I pretty much go through the gist on it, everything, all my thoughts on it, and
My thoughts.
yeah, and we've opened up the panel for anybody to come in and share their thoughts on it, and I'll continue to pop on and talk about it more and talk about other devices that are coming out as well, for the average person out there. If you're running a Fire Stick, please, for God's sake, why upgrade already? Get rid of it. Get a better device, please. When sales happen on these second gen cubes right now, grab one. They'll probably be $50. They've been $50 before for refurbished ones. Just go ahead and get one. Get one. Leave that stick in the dust. Otherwise, pick some other nice box that you like, whatever your flavor is that you like. There's no wrong choice as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're happy and you're able to watch what you want. If the device isn't playing good and you're not able to watch what you want, you need to get a different device, at the end of the day. So, that being said, this is a Mr. On Demand, man with the master plan. I'll be back again and tell you more of what my thoughts are on the next video. Hope you guys have a good night, and I know I'm gonna go watch some TV and relax, and see you
You
guys
should go
again
watch
soon.
Captain Crunch and go watch his regular shows.
Hey,
Captain Crunch. Yeah, no,
hey,
I don't
Mr.
think
On the
so.
Man.
Yeah.
Go think to take a look at that when you get off.
Oh, I definitely will.
Okay, thanks.
Oh wait, who's this? We got one other person.
Hello.
I'll let this person come in and give some thoughts real quick.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good,
Been
pretty
a
good.
while. It's been a while since I don't see you.
Yeah, yeah. So do
I don't know.
you have some thoughts you want to share on the Fire TV Cube or something else in general with boxes?
No, I haven't seen too much of it, but it should be okay. I mean, it's better than the old one. I think I want to get a couple more and get rid of the fire sticks.
Yeah, you definitely want to get rid of those fire sticks, but you know, either the second gen cube or this new third gen cube, one of those two would be a good choice to go with. Like I said,
Yeah,
I went through all of the details on what my thoughts are, and you know, wait for the sales to come out though. Black
yeah.
Friday sales, you'll get some deals. Probably get them right under $100. That's my guess, but you know, we'll have to wait and see.
I think so. I was thinking the same thing. Wait till they put it on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna pay the whole price, the full price.
Yeah, I'm happy with my second gen cubes. I am
Yeah.
buying a new TV for my living room because it's an old 32-inch TV, and I have some things I want to do in there. So there's a chance I might pick up one of those third gen cubes and hook it up in there with a new TV. Um, and you know, we'll see though come the holidays and how things go. There's
You're
a
just gonna
you know a lot of stuff going on.
you're just gonna have to do some special rigging, right?
What do you mean rigging?
Yeah, remember it's not doesn't have a gig with it, so you're gonna have to try to re-rig it out so you could have that gig
Oh, I'll probably just run it
with
Wi.
the hardwire thing.
I'll probably just run it Wi-Fi because the one of the routers are in that room, so it'll get my other cubes are running on Wi-Fi right now anyway. So
Actually, I'll show you guys the future of box while we're on. Check it out. That's the future of boxes right there. They have all sorts of different flavors though. 8 gig does whatever I want. 8 gig and it's a 64, and I can add a micro part. What is an SSD in it? I can add an SSD in this. There's some of them I can add 16 terabytes to it. These are the future of boxes. Them run
Which box is that
4K.
one?
What? 60 frames a second. I'm gonna show it on my channel, but it's a total metal box. Runs. It's expensive, but it's a lot better in my opinion because of what's coming out. Like what we said, I won't have to deal with the OS issues.
well,
You know what?
you should do a little video going over all the details of that box and why you
I
like it.
will. I will. I
Definitely.
definitely will.
Yeah.
We talked about getting me a card, HD card tuner, or whatever you call it,
Hmm.
card capture, because that's the only way I'm going to show what it does. It does the grouping, you know, like how Superdell does his video. It does that and then some. It does
Mhm.
the grouping where you don't have to do all the thing like the Plex type stuff. It does the grouping, but then it does a lot more than that. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, $189 for this, but they got different variants of these boxes. And these are ones that you will not have to worry about what operating system you want to run on it.
John said, "Did you talk about trade-in value for your old devices?" No, I didn't. I know that Amazon has some deals out there. People can look on their website for the details on that. I, off the top of my head, don't know. Don't know what Amazon's offering when it comes to any of that.
They don't offer much.
Yeah. Um.
Some,
Yeah. I have
they
no
did
clue.
in the past with the old Fire Stick to replace it with new ones, but they haven't done anything like that
Yeah.
in a while.
I have three brand new Fire Sticks just hanging that I am not doing anything with right now. So I might give a couple of those away at Christmas time, like somebody was saying Halloween's coming. Give to the kids to the door. I bought them dirt cheap when it was Black Friday, or not Black Friday. What, the last Amazon Prime Day, I think. But I'm not selling boxes anymore. I just got a couple of them just in case I had a friend or family member that I needed to try to help out or something and give them one. So
Yep. I didn't know what I was doing joining this. What is this?
It's
Google
Google
Meet.
Meets. Yeah, it's a
Uh-huh.
group hangout type thing where people can hang out together and talk. I integrated it
YouTube channel.
into my live show. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
using OBS Studio, and so yeah,
OBS.
yeah. I'm just trying some new
You have any good tutorials on OBS?
any what recorders?
Do you have a good tutorial on UBS? There's
Oh
a whole
no,
bunch of it.
no, I don't. There are a lot of
Uh,
tutorials out there for on OBS,
yeah,
but OBS is constantly updating and changing. So
yeah.
they have two OBSs. One's OBS Studio, and the other one's Streamlabs. And one's better for streaming video games. It's more used, you know, popular for the video games with the skins and stuff people have. And then the
Uh-huh.
studio is what I'm using because it's better. I think the studio version is better for a something like I'm doing, like this type of show I'm doing, where it's
Yeah.
more of a news type of show where we're just talking. A lot of people use the what's that software they use, Skulls? Uh,
Restream. There's a
no,
new thing that
not Restream. What's the one everybody uses that
StreamYard, but
StreamYard? Yeah,
Restream's kind of cool. Restream's kind of cool too. This is something. I
yeah,
mean, this guy, what was his name? Chef, our friend Chef. Shout out to Chef. Just showed us that a couple weeks ago, and it works pretty darn cool.
yeah.
But it's like what you want to do for the price.
I'm just trying some different things, but see, I got a whole studio with 3, 4 screens here, so I've got a setup a lot different than a lot of people don't have those capabilities. So when it comes down to it, it that really makes a difference. I mean, if you don't have the multiple screens and the multiple monitors set up like this, you can't really do like what I'm doing real well. But with a lot of the other software out there, it makes it a little easier for people to do those different things. But yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it though. Whatever works out for people at the end of the day. Um, I know with the updates to OBS Studio lately, they've added a lot of new features that I'm really liking that I have to play with and learn still. So that they didn't have before. And with this I have a new Ryzen PC that I built, and I'm still getting all the quirks worked out on everything with the microphones and the audio and everything with it. So I'll go back and I'll check this stream out and I'll see what I didn't like the quality of in it and see if I can't adjust some things to make that better. All right. Well, let's head on out of here. You guys all have a good evening, and I will see you again in the next one. We're out.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.